I'm Clement Paligaru, and I'm talking to Eoghan Hogan, who's Director of Product Innovation at Torrens University Australia, Think Education and Media Design School. Now, there's a lot of uncertainty around right now. The world is changing before us, people are adjusting, and on the job front, some are doing it tough. At Torrens University, we do step up our efforts to support the community. So tell me about this one particular initiative of ours, Eoghan, and it's to do with work and education, but it is quite timely as well.
Yeah, thanks, Clement. So we're offering 14 of our on-demand short courses for free for a limited time to the public. So these short courses are 1 to 2 hours on-demand, industry driven and industry informed, interactive learning episodes that can be completed on the phone or on your laptop.
And it comes at a time when career experts are also encouraging people to do this, aren't they?
Yeah, well, when you think about it, in the current environment has probably rushed the change to the future of work. We knew it was coming, and now people are working from home. They're working more dynamically than ever, and also a lot of people are going to be changing careers when they return to work.
And the other thing is that you're not just offering it to the general public, for example, but you're actually extending this. I mean, you're reaching through your networks as well, aren't you? Networks of people who actually engage with us at Torrens University.
Yeah, we're lucky enough at Torrens University MDS and Think Education to have some amazing partners. And when this started back in February and March, we wanted to do something to help those partners. So, for example, some of our hospitality vertical, quite a few of their alumni had been affected by this. So we reached out to groups such as the International Hotel Group, among others, and offered it to all of their staff. We offered all of our on-demand short courses through that partnership to their members and to their staff, and we got huge uptake.
And of course, it comes at a time when we are all getting closer as well as a result of COVID-19, and there is this sense of community. So it just seems like it's a really good thing to do to actually connect and reinforce our relationships, Eoghan. But at the same time, why is it important that Torrens University Australia, MDS, Think Education are actually offering these opportunities for free, and they're all available, to people, especially in the current climate?
Yeah, I think this comes back to who we are as Torrens University MDS and Think Education. We are a B-Corp. We are here for the empowerment of education and to allow education for everyone. So I suppose staying with that ethos, we have offered these 14 short courses to allow people to upskill and to allow people find new career opportunities. People may have taken some time to reflect during this time, and now they may decide, where they were working wasn't the place where they enjoyed and wasn't what they wanted to work in. So these short courses are an introduction to potentially a new career opportunity. They're also about making sure people can enter the work environment again. There has been a huge amount of people affected across the world, and we want to make sure that they are upskilling and in the best possible position to get a job when the market changes, and when employers start to employ again.
And yet it's not just about, or it doesn't have to be just about what's happening now. I mean, this is something that we feel quite strongly about it at Torrens University as well, and Think and MDS, because it's about lifelong learning as well, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. This project has actually started 2.5 years ago. This has been something we've had in mind to meet a different market, a market that may not want to invest in a full 2 to 3 year degree. And yes, we feel passionately about this, allowing people to upskill while working, while out of work, and we want to align that with what they want to do in their lives, and equally offering this to some industry partners in where they see their staff could develop their skills further. But yeah, a big area where we've been focusing on, and the entire education system around the world has been moving towards shorter courses, micro credentials, and this is just the first step of that journey for Torrens University MDS and Think Education.
Now, that is something very interesting you mentioned there, because you've just said that other institutions are doing this as well. You also mentioned that there is a market out there, and we're part of this market. We're part of higher education in general. So how do our short courses compare with those offered by other institutions and other universities?
Yeah, it's an interesting time for higher education. There are other people who are offering short courses, but our ones are certainly unique, being that they are 1 to 2 hours. They are industry aligned and industry driven. And what I mean by that is that we've actually collaborated with industries to develop these. Everything from the topics we've decided to cover and will continue to develop in the future, to industry are actually, you hear from industry within the on-demand short courses. We don't only want to offer people academic knowledge. We want to describe, the tips and bits of how to apply that knowledge within the work environment. And I think that's a big thing for us. Industry have been telling us for a while now that, they see graduates from all universities graduating with amazing, with all the knowledge and amazing knowledge, but sometimes they're lacking the soft skills and some of the skills needed to apply that knowledge. And I suppose this is part of our on-demand short course strategy: is how do we embed, these soft skills within our courses, but also offer them to people who have graduated in the past and want to upskill. Things like design thinking is an integral skill to anyone now. Project management, agile, communication skills, working well with others. I suppose then we also branch into the management versus leadership, emotional intelligence, leadership styles, all really important skills and knowledge to have for anyone working at the moment.
And of course, this is informed. You mentioned the industry, so important to keep it fresh as well and keep it relevant as well. And that's certainly the work that you're doing with industry. And here we are in the institution. We know what we want to do. The industry is telling us as well. Industries are telling us as well. What's the response though from the people who are doing these courses? I want to know about, well, what do they think about them?
Yeah. Look, this is, as I mentioned, this has been quite a journey for us. And I suppose with the current environment, it expedited how fast we brought this to the market. And we were absolutely blown away by the response. So we've had 7,777 users log into the platform. We've had 7,067 people complete short courses. That equates to over 9,000 hours of learning, which is just amazing considering that this is a free offering and people are doing this at their own time. So yeah, we're absolutely blown away by the response, and not only from our industry partners but also from the public. There is a true want and need for these courses.
Well, I mean, the other thing is fitting in the courses as well. People are pretty busy these days. In fact, some are saying they're even busier during this time of COVID because there's so much to do, even if they're in lockdown or in, restricted movement and the like. How flexible are the courses when it comes to actually fitting into people's different lifestyles?
So we did quite a bit of market research and we spoke to industry along with our potential users before we embarked on this journey. And everyone told us that this had to be flexible. This had to be built in a way that users could access it anywhere, anytime, and they could pause it and come back to it if needed. We speak about open access education and we speak about, empowerment for everyone. No entry requirements and a certificate of completion when students when students complete them. I think something amazing I even noticed earlier today that people are sharing these on their LinkedIn. So those 14 courses are building your leadership brand, cloud security, content marketing dynamics, crisis management planning, demonstrating leadership in times of crisis, design thinking, emotional intelligence and leadership styles, how big data is changing content marketing, project planning tools, recovering from crisis, transformational thinking, user experience design, user stories, and building confidence in the digital classroom.
That is such a broad range, right? There's quite a bit there. I mean, you've got everything from the digital to the crisis management, or working during a crisis, recovering, all of those things. Do you have any hints at all about how people can kind of narrow it down? If they've got like 4 they can do, or 5, or any ideas at all how people might be able to navigate their way through these?
Yeah, interesting question. I suppose from my perspective, the project planning tools, the cloud security, and the user experience design were extremely interesting, and certainly courses I would advocate for. I think they are also tools and skills that everyone needs to understand within their roles. I think an important thing to remember is that these are all introductory courses. So although cloud security may seem complex, it is an introduction and anyone can follow the course. So yeah, I suppose dive in. If you try one and decide that it's not for you, you can always pick another.
Oh, and I'm sitting here listening to this, but there's one that's just stood out, and that's cloud security, because I understand that there's, we've been warned also about this time and hackers getting in as well into our system. So I reckon that's the one I'm going to go for.
Brilliant.
How do I find this?
It can be found at shortcourses.torrensonline.com.
Okay, so that's short courses at torrensonline.com. Eoghan, thank you so much for your time. I reckon we'll be comparing notes on which ones you've done, which ones I've done, and maybe even those knowledge tests, aka quizzes, that we've gotten through, and with what percentage we got right. Many thanks for your time.
No, brilliant. Thank you, Clement. Good to chat.